Dream Team's alright with me. Dream Team's alright. Oh yeah. I'm Roy. I coach Destroy. This is Warnie.
Coach of the Warndogs.
This is Calvin.
I'm in a green vest, but up and about, Roy.
Oh, you are? I don't know why. Because we're there, boys. We are there.
I know.
We should all be wearing a green vest this week.
The
I reckon.
dreaded bye round. So we're going to be having a look at today. Looking today at how we are situated going into the buys and. Wow, what we're going to do about our probably poor situation. We'll go around the grounds first, though. Snoop?
Going to start with me. All right, let's do this. All right, 2008 for me wasn't a great score. I was very worried that I was going to go back-to-back vest, but knocked over the 2000, dropped a bit in the rankings down to 765th overall now. Still in the top 1,000, so that's a good thing. But, yeah, not languishing behind like you, Roy.
No, well,
but
you could say I'm languishing behind, but I'm absolutely smashing in the right direction at the moment. So I'm not doing it with overly impressive scores, 20-50. There's nothing to write home about. But I'm moving in the right direction. And considering the amount of money I had on the bench this week, that score, that was a real win for me. Vesty?
Yeah, look.
You're heading backwards, Calvin.
Yeah, bad luck, dog. I got hammered big time. Well, Clokey, late withdrawal, we knew about it, so I just said it because I knew he plays
you know
what?
This
week.
That did not. People were saying that to me because I had a sook about that.
Yep. No, you
weren't
didn't.
I do tend to sook about things like that.
It counts.
Of course it counts. You're not going to trade him out for a 1 week.
Incredibly.
He was pooing.
It's bad luck, and then you're throwing guys.
Probably going to be good for his body.
It would be great for his body. Cleaned it out,
but he hasn't copped a week of hits.
No. You know, there's tablets you can take.
There are, and look, and I also had Maloney and a couple of other guys that were sub 50. So
do you know what? I don't call that bad luck. Maloney is bad management.
Oh my God,
he is woeful, and he has been for weeks.
What about the start he had?
It was okay.
Oh, he was just averaging, 95?
Oh, who has a sook? Someone got a bit red and angry.
All right, Calvin, that has got you into the workout green vest. And we did have a couple of lookalikes through this week, as we do. There's our first one there, a bit of Mario Kart.
Good
Luigi.
One.
I love Mario Kart.
Your head in there. This one here, they've put your head on there quite nicely.
Oh, hello.
Look at that. You're up and about.
I do like that.
This one here from our mate Troy. He loves sending these ones in. That's actually a Kelvinator fridge.
Yeah. Great. That is gold. I like
your
it.
head into there. So
yes, I like that.
Look very, very cool. But this is probably his best one. And this one we might talk about later with the captains because you've got there the three stooges. You've got
that's good.
Ablett and Stevie J there. And Calvin in the middle.
I thought I was good at Paint Shot Pro.
Yeah, well,
that is amazing.
Pretty bloody awesome. So, that is a ripper. That'll be up on the website later to have a look at in full flight too.
But I'll tell you what, I do wear the workwearhub.com.au vest with a lot of pride, dog, because last week we had a competition.
And they're great sponsors.
They're great sponsors. And I love the fact that you boys are wearing the hats tonight.
Representing.
So don't forget, FXD, you had to go hashtag FXD with a new kid, and you had to name us a new kid that you brought into your team, and basically why you were pretty happy with it. And look at this. Roy's kept the straight peak.
I have.
You're a bit of a...
And the sticker.
And the starter sticker. Dog's gone for the bend, but that's okay, dog.
Curve it around.
It still looks fantastic. Anyway,
I'm an old school.
The winner of the competition was a guy called Brandon Goff. Dog, what did he say?
He sent into this, and you can see the winner there on the screen right now. Issues with calves, lambs, and pigs this week. I've got the right stuff with O'Meara hanging tough in my mid.
Oh,
so you can see what he did there.
Yeah.
Hanging
tough.
And I like
new
how
kids on the block. Brilliant.
One person in Australia heard my little joke about all the pigs and lambs and calves.
Oh yeah, there was one.
You guys sit there like.
It was boring.
Oh mate, it's $1 in $200.
Not bad.
Yeah, good work. So we'll be in contact with you very, very soon. Roy,
Golden Stubby.
look at this. Bleaks.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now, it was such a gamble to hold on to Lundberger and say, Cavs, you haven't been anything to write home about, but last week you've pumped out your best. It was an 80 plus.
Yep.
We're going to give you a full game.
And we would have all taken a 50.
Oh, we would have.
We probably wouldn't have even complained about.
I watched the episode back and we said, God, how happy would you be with another 80 or so? We said we would be pumped.
Now, what did he finally score?
94 in the end, I think.
Oh, that's the same as Stevie J. Why is that such a bad thing?
Yeah, good point.
Oh,
but
Stevie
seriously though, stepping up like that, that's what'll get you a golden stubby. Well done, big fella. Hopefully you do it again for us this week.
Yeah.
That, Roy.
We'll talk about that later. Kicking off with an absolute blockbuster, my boys versus your boys.
Oh, yeah. Big
Oh,
Friday night.
on like Donkey Kong. Now, changes. Essendon. Guess what? Danaher.
Joe.
The big fella has
Unleashed,
he has
unravelled,
been in
whatever.
good form. And the big unit is out, ready to play. So that's pretty cool. Out for Essendon. Dempsey. He pops up with a few good scores,
I
Dempsey.
know. He's been considered in the past.
You know who else is out? Local boy, Belly.
Oh,
No, Bell Chambers.
Belly.
Gone.
Yeah.
Omitted. Do you know the extreme relevance of this? Paddy Ryder is
Now.
really quite. He's
He's
quite
juicy.
down on form, price, etc.
massively, yeah.
So he is so underpriced at the moment. He's going to go straight into that number one ruck spot.
definitely.
His score will be through the roof compared to what he's been doing.
Big time.
So keep
Get
your eye
on
on
him
him.
if you need him.
You know the biggest news out of the Bombers though, Hep.
Hep, he's
All I heard all week, Hep's going into scans, Hep's not running properly at training, Hep. Well, at this stage, he's
Big
no.
positive is that it is Friday night, so we're going to know that before lockout if there is a late out.
Yeah, yep. So
Better
we'll know
not
that. For the Blues, Juddy Lucas and Eddie Betts is
no
back
more
in.
bets. Play on.
No, so he's
No,
playing.
yes.
That's going to be awesome. Menzel, not bad last week. He snagged a couple of sausage rolls, kicked his 60
Yep.
or so points for the game. But
That was
yeah,
his third, was it? I think it was.
I'll double check.
Yeah, it was his second or third. Next game, GWS versus Geelong. Halpy. Halpy's out. I mean,
Oh, what?
unfortunately for GWS. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know what he's done wrong, the big fella. But
Yeah.
there was no real relevant ins or outs for GWS. Geelong, pump it, boys.
Our boy.
Thurlow is back in. The big
And
fella.
much
DT,
needed.
talk
in,
zone.
in a time of need, our boy,
Steps up to the
Jacko,
plate.
Awesome.
if you don't mind. Oh, you know that golden stubby? What? Bleak Avs?
Yeah.
Managed.
Managed? That's never been called managed.
Yeah, it is. And that's what I was...
Must be a distant relation to
Well,
that other
General.
injury called general soreness.
Yeah, and that is what I was trying to say about Maloney. Manage your players, but yeah. Anyway, so Cavs. I don't reckon ever a golden stubby winner has been...
Disappointing.
Never,
Missing.
not since Colin Miller won the Alan Border medal. And then he got dropped the next year. It's very, very similar.
Yeah, Jason Gillespie.
Yep.
Knocked up 200. See you later.
The sad thing about
just not
it
cricket.
is that if you said to us at the start of the year
Yep.
that he would play the first 10 games,
Yeah.
we would not have believed it. And then we'd say, you'd need him in round 10 and he'll get 94 for you.
Wouldn't believe that.
That would have been paying a truckload.
Yeah,
could
and then
potentially-
imagine saying he's not going to play the next week and he's
After
not
scoring
injured
that.
after scoring that.
When he's got the bye next week.
What would that be paying?
He could win the
Million.
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
DT Rookie of the Year.
Well,
he's a
this
chance.
golden stubby has thrown him into contention. Do you know the good news though? Negative there on the Cavs. Bartel and Selwood.
Yeah.
Both named.
Rumours about them all week.
There has been rumours about them all week. Selwood, so that's good for you, Warnie. He'll lock in his 60 like he has been doing for you.
Yep, you'll like
Another
that.
60, that'll be handy. That's
Awesome.
my teams.
Well, I've got the next one. Adelaide and Sydney. Now, for Sydney, no relevance there at all. So I'll go straight to Adelaide. Where...
Apart from old Marty Mattner retiring.
No, that's not relevant.
Oh, it is. He's one of your old Crow boys. He's a premiership player.
Speaking of my Crow boys, Crouchy.
He's back.
Crouchy
Oh, that'll
is
help a few.
back. And that's going to be some people just sitting back going, thank God. If you held him now, you probably would have because he hasn't gone up much in price. I think he's sitting at like 170
yeah.
or 180. So, look, and now the outs there, Lyons and Martin are out, and so's Luke Brown.
Oh,
He's
he's
also-
got him
He's
riding
been
the
sitting
vine.
there for quite a while. Yeah.
Second game I got is Gold Coast versus North Melbourne in Dixon and Patrick for Gold Coast. And
No, he's not.
The wrong one.
No, he's not.
Not the right one.
I can't even say his name.
Because you don't know it.
I do know it.
What's his first name?
I found out tonight. Jack.
Jack Hutchins.
Jack me boy.
When you read all those wicked stats about him to me, were you actually reading Hutchings from West Coast?
No, this
So
guy.
he's the right one you got.
Silent G. Hutchins and look, the big out for Gold Coast,
Yes.
Gorringe.
Oh, is he?
Oh, what?
Was he on a bubble?
Gorringe is out. Nichols stays.
Oh my goodness.
Now Nichols last week, 35 hit outs. He is.
So Gorringe has been
27,
around for
I think.
ages, has he?
Yeah, but this guy is the
And
ruck.
he's out now.
Yeah.
And he's
Gorringe is
in.
out. Nichols, they are keeping.
Right.
He is their
The
number
correct
one
answer.
ruck. He's the correct answer.
So he's
I
coming into
see.
play second game.
Yep. Zach Smith, obviously out for the season. Gorringe out of favour. Like, out of favour? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
He's
matter.
omitted. Hello, Nichols. Keep him on your radar this week big time because
So
he's going to be good.
So he knocked up a 70.
Yep.
He had 27 hit-outs or something.
It's like, yep.
Wow.
And he's now
Interesting.
the sole ruckman.
Especially for people with, Cavs and Lundberg are sitting there.
That's
What a
huge.
downgrade.
Just quickly for North Melbourne before you go, Dog. Sirikowski is out and Marjak back in.
Jack.
Dog.
All right, let's go in Sunday games, Sunday and Monday games this week. Feels bad with only 6 games this weekend, but they're spread out over all these days. So Sunday we've got St Kilda and West Coast. That Saunders is in for St Kilda, so that rookie gone wrong, but he might be right for some people there if you do have him. Out for St Kilda, Sam Fisher has a foot injury, but probably the interesting one is Ferguson, who, did you see his DT numbers on Sunday?
Poor bugger.
No,
if
I
he
didn't.
plays the game, I hope he doesn't.
-6
How could he do that?
for the game.
It's Nathan Jones like 2003.
It
So,
was.
poor bloke, but he might come in. Hopefully he plays 3 games. We can get him at a cheaper price.
Just on Sam Fisher, he certainly hasn't injured his foot by dropping the ball on it.
No.
I'll give you the hot tip.
Is that right?
Keeps fresh
Dr.
air.
Larkin.
Yeah,
For West Coast, probably no one really to think about there as the ins. Darren Glass with his hip injury might hurt 3 people in the competition. But Mark Lacroix is out with an arm.
That hurts some
Okay.
people.
It
He
will
hasn't
hurt
been a
people.
bad pick.
And he's probably let people down the last couple of
He
weeks,
has,
maybe.
yes.
And, you're probably going, hope, I'll keep him for this week, maybe trade him out next week for his bye. But yeah, so that's going to hurt those people with him. The other one there, Bo Waters is still not back in as yet.
Joseph.
So you would actually be happy about that this week.
The
then,
correct
wouldn't
answer was for me to trade him last week. Probably the correct answer wasn't to get him at
you?
all.
Yeah, but that,
However,
how do you feel seriously about
that's
that?
6 weeks. He's played 1 game in 6 weeks now. Ouch.
You look
Sorry,
happier.
T-Better.
You look happy about it mentioning it this time.
I do
It
a little
would feel
bit.
good, wouldn't it?
feel
I
good,
would.
yeah.
I would feel ecstatic.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah,
But
I
yes,
would.
Got to
I
keep a
would.
lid on it. And going into the Monday game, we've got Melbourne and Collingwood, so that traditional Queen's birthday game. For Melbourne, not too much there to write home about either. That is Sylvia and Gawn are a couple in there that people might consider or have had. Gawn especially if you did downgrade to him like a few people might have done. Frawley is out with a hamstring. DT relevant? Yes, it is. Because that boy that had his little poo button being pushed all Friday, he is in. Travis Cloak. So he's in. And without Frawley there, he should have an absolute field day. What do you reckon, V8?
12 goals, Dog.
Right.
Well,
all right.
he's 10 times the player Buddy is.
12 goals at half time.
Because
Yeah. All right. The
24.
other one's in there. Now, Collingwood have named quite a few guys in. Sinclair Payne and Oxley. Old Oxley is a forward defender. And he is $89,000. He got upgraded today off the rookie list
Wow.
for Daisy Thomas. And he has been named on that extended bench with quite a few other guys, including Kmart.
isn't that interesting? With we've all got Staker now.
Yeah. So we could do a little bit of a switch.
How could we possibly find out more about this Oxley character, Dog?
I don't know.
Why not ring his captain?
The captain.
Oh, are we name dropping again?
We are. We do
I
that
love
sort of
it.
stuff. Let's get this
I
out.
reckon they should rename the MCG to the Pigsty this week.
Okay, we shall do that.
G'day, mate.
Hey, Maxie, how are we?
Good, how are you all?
Yeah, pretty good. We're sitting here doing a bit of a live show, talking about the teams happening at the moment. We've just got to the Collingwood and Melbourne game.
Tell you what, these bye weeks, I'm not too happy about them.
No, on that, Maxie, it's Roy here. How you going?
How are you, mate?
Yeah, really good. Just wondering how your team is going at the moment and how you are looking for these bye rounds.
I'm not going too bad. I think I've been a bit stiff in the All-Star League a couple of times where I thought I'd get the points and unfortunately just failed. So
Yep.
I'm not looking too good there, but I'm pretty happy with where my team's at altogether. I'm leading a couple of other comps undefeated in 2 of the others that I'm doing, so that's a
work.
good sign. And
Yeah,
I
nice.
think probably the toughest one at the moment is you guys might be able to fill me in the elite dream team.
Yep.
Whether they're going to go with 18 players like they are in the normal dream team, because 18 players is all you've got anyway. And
Yeah,
you've got
well,
four reserves,
you're
so we've got 22.
You're actually not, so you've got to wear it this week. So it might be worth jumping in and ditching a couple of your spuds that aren't playing this week and get a couple off the waiver wire. Go and see if you can find someone off the scrap heap. So yeah, it's the 3 weeks to suck it up in old Elite this week.
Yeah, that hurts me. So I'll probably end up playing with about 14 or 15, but unfortunately, that's the way the cookie crumbles. But yeah, looking all right, mate. I think obviously a couple of guys rested against the weaker teams, I guess, at the moment. But disappointed to see Lacroix go and get his. I assume he's getting the plates out of his arm, given they've got next week off as well. So that was my guess with him.
Jeez, mate,
out with an arm.
You've just dropped a big bomb there about resting against these weaker teams, but we'll get onto that a little bit later.
All right. Well, speaking of. On the news this week, everyone wants to find a little bit of news, and one of the big ones was down at Amy Park. Oh, Warnie went in for some scans. Oh, there's a pig. Now, what's the go with that? Have we got anything to worry about?
Huge news. No, we actually think that our doctor might have shares in at Olympic Park because the amount of scans that we end up getting in there. But yeah, it's just easy because he's next door. But there's nothing to worry about with Swanee. I can assure you, he's captain of my elite team.
Oh, yes! Thanks, Maxie.
Very lucky with that.
Now, how's Clokey travelling, mate? Look, he had the shits or something, didn't he? And has he been training? Is he fit to go? And will he kick me about 15 goals?
I hope he does, but he's 100% fit. He's ready to go. Just got a bit of food poisoning, so it was sort of like a 24-hour bug. He's been training this week, but I suppose for our team, we're not really settled on what a lineup will be because we don't play till Monday, which means that we actually have our main training session tomorrow, and then we've still got another training session on Sunday, so we're a fair way out from the game. But both those guys, there's nothing wrong with them at all.
Oh, that's fantastic news, mate. I'm actually really, probably borderline too excited about that. But someone that still gives me sleepless nights is what I thought was going to be my best pick for the year, Beamer. What's he doing? Is he going to play at all this year or what?
I think probably the guy who's most upset would be my brother because he picked him at pick 4 in our elite team.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, and he's still got him.
Oh,
he's held him all this time. He's a loyal bloke.
Yeah, I don't blame him either. I felt like just being stubborn and keeping him there, but yeah, he broke me. So is he looking like he could be within a month or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. He's, because it's obviously had, I think, he did it first, then he came back after about 4 or 5 weeks and sort of, it wasn't quite right again, and then the same thing happened again. So he's had a pretty frustrating run of it, but at the moment he's actually taking a slower approach.
Yeah.
Probably over the last month, it's been a lot slower than what he had. He was just going on how he felt rather than what the scans, I guess, and what the doctor sort of said, the recommendations were. So it pushed a bit harder just because he's desperate to get out there. He's just the ultimate professional, so you'd expect that of him. But he's taking it slow this time, and with that, we expect that we're going to see him. Obviously, it's going to be after the bye, and I'd expect he'll play at least a couple in the VFL because he hasn't played any footy for the whole season. So just to build up that fitness base, but we'll definitely see him, and he's obviously pretty important to our team and important to a lot of the dream teamers out there.
Sweet,
so you should always listen to your doctor, Roy, and go get that rash looked at. I told you that.
What, that one you've got?
Now, Maxie, a couple of selection ones from me here. The first one that I noticed was that old Sammy Dwyer didn't get back into the team after sort of resting last week by the sounds of it with a small injury. How's he travelling?
Yeah, to be honest, I actually surprised me as well. I just looked at the teams quickly to see what was happening and didn't see his name mentioned. So I'm not exactly sure, to be perfectly honest. But I know that he's obviously someone who's come in and made a real impact for us. So they might have just thought they'd give him one more, but he's someone who's pretty important and someone who is still in my team. So hopefully that tells you something.
Maybe we could trade him out for old Oxley. What do we know about him? He's a defender forward. He's only 89 grand, got upgraded off the rookie list today. Is he much of a chance to play?
Sounds big.
He's on the extended bench, so yeah.
Again, that was the first that I've heard of it as well. Just saw the Ox, but he's a real class act. He's almost, I can't really compare him to anyone, but he gets the ball and he just uses it really well. So that's pretty important.
So he's much like yourself.
Exactly right. Just coming off half back and making sure that you really break the lines and making sure you hit targets and obviously get down there and kick some 50, 60 metre bombs as well.
It sounds good. It sounds good.
Now, Max, also on the extended bench, there's a Cole Martin playing his second game. look, obviously you get talked to a lot down there at the club and you consulted heaps about the team. What's his chances down there, mate? Is he a chance? Because we're trying to patch up players, so what do you reckon? Extended bench?
Yeah, he's definitely a strong chance, mate. Again, I'm not exactly sure because we're still 2 training sessions away, but we couldn't have been more impressed with the way he handled himself and the way that he played on the weekend. So he was a great result, and obviously for Dream Team, it was a sensational result given he scored 92 points, and I think he's only going to get better when he continues at this level. So he's someone who we see as a real future, and him and Josh Thomas coming in and playing the role they did was really good, and also to see Benny Kennedy get his first go without the green vest on was good as well.
Now, Maxie, I've been hunting through Centrebet looking for your line bet.
Yep.
I am tipping this week for the 4th time in your career.
Yep.
Big ton, mate.
Yep, you got it.
I think you're going to knock up a ton. What do you reckon?
But hopefully the ball doesn't come down my end that much, so I won't have to worry too much about it. But I was on target, I think, last week until they threw me the red vest, which was a nice surprise in the end because I've had a tough run with some injuries this year, so it was good of them to look after me. But I'm not too fussed about my scores. I know that there's no one out there who's got me anyway who really cares about their dream team.
You're probably breaking some of the rules now that you're a veteran. Happy 30th birthday too, Maxie.
Thank you, boys. Yeah, it was good. I think that was the birthday present for me from the club, just to give me a bit of a rest after half-time.
All right, Maxie. Thanks heaps for the chat, mate. We really appreciate it, and you gave us some gold information as always. Can I just give you get in Buck's ear? You guys, your percentage is really poor compared to the top 8 at the moment. There's no taking the foot off the pedal this week, mate. Tell the boys to go hard the whole time.
If I've ever heard Buck say the words, take your foot off the pedal, I'll be paying everyone $1,000.
Oh, that's good.
No worries, boys. Thanks a
Okay,
lot.
cheers,
Maxie.
Thanks, Maxie.
Yeah, boys.
Well,
there we go.
That couldn't have gone any
I'll
better.
I'll tell you what. Let's recap. Pig, are you okay? He's fine. He's fine. The pig's fine. Right.
I tell you what.
Is that all we need to know? That's it, basically.
That could change Calvin's captains, that phone call. Is that even possible?
You got to talk to Pirate later, dog. He's not far away.
I don't think he is. He's coming up now.
Wow. Where is he? Scurvy girl.
I don't know.
What? No, seriously. What would that do to if you had done your captain selections and you hear Maxi with that amount of confidence?
I don't know. I might change 1 and 2 around possibly. But Calvin's not here, so we don't know what's going on. He did...
He's probably gone Steve Johnson for all I know.
Who knows?
When you try your best but you don't succeed, when you get what you want but not what you need, when you feel so tired but you can't sleep, stuck in reverse, and the tears come streaming down your face, when you lose something you can't replace, when you love someone but it goes to waste, could it be worse? Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you.
Now, that video there, that came from this week last year when Calvin went out on a limb and chose Steel Sidebottom to be his captain and everyone else's captain that week.
For the record, on that week, that was not out on the limb. Everything lined up and pointed at Steve Johnson. Like it. No, Steve
What?
Johnson. Steel Sidebottom.
At that time of year, we all tend to break rules. The seas are up and I don't know.
Must be the weather.
It must be.
I don't know, but I'll tell you what. 94 is not a bad score. It's not great. Swanee had a 106 earlier this year, and we were like, oh, okay, we'll take that.
Oh, yeah.
It's not much different.
No, well, as I said on the podcast, I break mathematical rules and I rounded up. He got a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got 100 out of my captain.
I've refocused.
Oh, have you?
Because
I do need more, realistically. I need more.
And I'll give it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Let's talk about, I've got 4 guys this week who could go 150.
150.
4 guys who
Right.
could go 150. First, let's talk about Stanton.
Wow.
149, I think 144 in his last 2. He's back to near status. Check your article and I'll define that later, unless you've got the definition there. Play on, Calvin. Look, this week he plays Carlton. Last year he had 72 on. Not great. But had his second best DT score of all time of 175.
Right.
He is going to be big against Carlton. His form says he will be. Everything points at Stanton going, mate, you're going to rip it up again. Another guy I like is my boy again, Stevie J. He had 150, his second best DT score of all time, last time he played GWS.
Yeah, right.
Guess how many touches he had? 25.
What for a score
Wow,
like that?
25.
He snagged some sausage rolls.
5
did he?
sausage rolls.
Oh, wow.
So Stevie's got to get busy again. Another
You
one I
going to
like.
make him number 1? Oh, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Another guy I think you need to look at is
Who? Oh, he's back.
Oh, the guy people wrote off last week.
130. Now, fair enough to write him off. Like, not to write him off, but 85 and 90 in the 2 weeks before that. You can't go on someone as captain after they've done that, and then he scores a 90 and you're like, oh, I'm unlucky. Well, no, mate, he's actually gone bang, bang. 130, though, and that's Swan back to his best. The thing that I'm worried about Swan is slightly the time that Bucks can sit him forward. Okay, and even the fact that he came out at the end of the game in the interview and said, I'm glad I finally got midfield time. That's where I play my best footy. If I was Bucks, I would have sat back and listened to that and gone, oh, is that right, mate? Forward. I don't know. I just think that you just wouldn't say that. Anyway.
But you heard what Maxie said.
I know.
Win.
Now, they play Melbourne, of course, and he is going to have an absolute best feast
And
against
they
them.
won't take the foot off.
And last time he played them, last
Like
year,
that.
he had 142 on them. 142.
That's exciting.
It's exciting.
It
But
is.
I'll tell you who I like the most. I like Gaza. And I like Gaza because in his last 4 weeks, his lowest score is 134.
You'd take that.
Right? Lowest. 134 in his last 4. And I was like, okay, that's not bad. I'm still considering going Swan as my number 1, right? Then I thought I'll check how he goes against Kangaroos. They're a pretty decent team. 148 last year. And then
It's
the year
nuts.
before that, 146.
It's unreal.
That's
why.
And it's at Metricon, where he's averaged 119 in his last 5. Look, it's just everything is pointing at Ablett this week,
It
and
is.
you just have to do it. In a week where I'm low in confidence and I've been standing on the chimney of Dog's old house, it's time just to back in the guy who's been getting 130, 130, 130, and he's had 2 140s, near 150s. So there's 4 guys there that could go 150. Have I got them in the right order? Dog, if you flashed it up,
There it is
maybe
again.
I do. He's the Avenger this week, Roy. He's back to save the day.
You are really good at that.
Yeah, I
You're
used
right.
that was last year's though. I just
Oh,
recycled
it doesn't matter.
How
Doesn't matter.
much did you score when you used that last year?
Whoa!
Oh no.
I think we need to start doing little NF stats on those
Jesus
things.
Christ! I will let you know. And where can I post? I'll tweet it out.
Tweet it.
And I'll let you know. Last time I used the Gary Avenger picture, what he scored that
That's
week.
the stuff I've got to hang on now.
Yeah, you
because
do.
I think of things. Round 10,
Yeah.
I'm never firing you again.
I wouldn't.
It's a bad round, isn't it?
Well, maybe it's around for me to stop being stupid, right?
Yeah. That's a good point.
Just go Gary or Swanee
that round
That's
next
what-
week, next year, no top 5.
No
I'm going to leave it all
captains.
blank, and I'll go, you choose. Just go for like an it dog shit, you are not it method.
Now you're talking about pig status. What is pig status?
Pig
I'll
status.
have a little bit of a
Look,
picture.
Put it up, dog.
Yeah.
Look, can you read it to the audience, dog?
Yeah, you did cop some criticism about your spelling and stuff on
No,
that.
no, I'll tell you why I did it like that.
The DT pig shall not be used in a derogative manner,
Never.
but to compliment those who feast beyond what is necessary.
That's it.
Thee who feasts when full and becomes DT greedy with uncontested possessions and marks at a consistent piggery level for a substantial period of time.
Yeah. Now, where I say thee, I was trying to be like medieval Shakespeare. Like, thee, thou shall not, you know.
Not every pirate, that was probably written on a boat.
That was.
They are not all necessarily well educated. They're getting the waves.
You know, the worst thing about it,
bloody
blind drunk.
Yeah,
wagon
exactly.
of rum under his belt.
I was
He's had a
drunk.
hug. Yeah, exactly.
So just give the pirate a break. He's had a hard week, but I'll tell you what.
Rum.
I am back this week. I will be back this week. Gary Ablett, my friend. Carry me, mate. Carry me, I know.
Get him, man. Yeah. Put a say on it.
All right, tweet. Now, we have got a few tweets come through and people are using that good old hashtag DT Talk Live to send them in. So we're going to have a bit of a look through there, boys, and see what people
Sounds
have
good.
got. So now, we've got here, old Jamin wants to know, trade Mays to which rookie? Which rookie would you get him? So obviously Mays can be picked as either a midfielder or a forward, so there are a few options.
I'd put him in the mids and I would get Tom Mitchell.
Would you get him early though, Roy?
Oh, I would. I am so excited about him. Knocking up his 90 plus.
98
from 3
points.
quarters.
Less than three quarters.
Less than 3 quarters. It's
Unbelievable.
insane.
You know what it is?
We all saw it coming.
we
know what
did.
it is?
We did.
It's Barlow-like.
Whoa.
It's Barlow.
He's almost a
2005,
mature age
I
pick
think
now
it was.
because he's
'Cause
been
he's
on the
had-
radar for a couple of years.
I love mature ages too, Dom.
You do. You do.
He's
You're
not a
dead right.
textbook mature age.
Get on.
He's
No, no.
done his time
Get
in
on.
the system. His stat line was ridiculous.
Get on.
It was like LeBron James' stat line.
Yeah.
He just filled all lines. Whew.
Huge. All right, let's go through here. Should I let one player miss with a blue dot or
I like that.
Tommy Mitchell or Joel Selwood in for Kobe Stevens? Should he go to Joel or should he go to Mitchell?
He downgrades, dog.
Right.
He's got to downgrade. You go to Tom Mitchell. You have to. Tom Mitchell could actually outscore Selwood this week.
He probably will, actually.
So you downgrade and you use the cash next week
Yeah.
to bring in guys like Dilidio on that.
Yeah.
I like.
Thanks.
Okay, so, yeah, I agree with that too. Well, let's just stop for a second.
Okay.
Stop!
We can
Have a time.
we can talk about our teams a little bit here.
Right.
Yeah.
Our theory into
Oh,
this
yeah,
week,
good call.
and
Yep.
it's probably the right time to do it.
Yep.
Our theory into this week, what are we doing? What is your theory going into your round 11 trades? We've got 2 trades there. You've
In a
pretty
perfect
much
world.
got to use them.
In a perfect world.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, you would be double downgrading this week, cashing your bank up, and then looking to use that cash to get in guys like, probably not a Cochin who's struggling big time, but guys like a Dilidio, any Brizzy guy that maybe you need to get on. So guys who've got the buy this week,
Birchall, yeah.
and Birchall and any Hawk, I'd be getting those in next week, and therefore you sort of miss that buy.
Buddy.
Maybe. Oh, God,
Maybe
he's cheap.
not.
Would you pick Hartlett
So
over
cheap.
Buddy next week?
I
If
prefer
you
to
had
stab
the choice.
myself in the eye.
So that is a bit of a general theory from us. We are going to look at sort of downgrading.
I'd
There
like
might-
to, yeah.
These teams have thrown a few little
Curveballs.
cats among the pigeons,
Yep.
as you say. But
You do so.
But I think that the double downgrade is quite good for us.
Has someone actually thrown a cat at a heap of pigeons?
It has to be on YouTube. I think we'll need to have a look at
Well,
it.
you're going to have to.
Well, all right,
That's
so
sick.
that's it. All right, let's go into another question
Funny.
then. Let us pump this one in through here. Hey, fellas, with Sirakowski out, who should I bring in as a rookie defender, Webster or Thurlow? Jeez.
I'm gonna
Bottom barrel scraping.
I'm going to say neither. Fish elsewhere.
Yeah,
That's a
almost
tough
take
one.
a donut there.
Take the donut and just
And
wear it.
do you know what? In this situation, I would never take the 0. I never do it, and it always bites me on the backside.
But he's better just to
Yeah.
either double somewhere else, or you got to grab your even that. Did old Horvat get named?
No, he's got the bye.
Of course
mate.
he didn't get
Bye,
named.
bye.
But you can jump on him and a Mitchell. Do you double downgrade
Yeah.
that way? But yeah, that's a tough one. I wouldn't be chasing Thurlow at this point.
Good call.
No worries.
All right, what about Vardy as your second ruck? What do you think about bringing
Very
him in as your second
interesting
ruck?
prospect.
Yep.
It's not actually that bad. He's only going one direction, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's pretty cheap.
He
Yep.
is.
Like just over
Just
200,
over 2. Yeah.
Could
You
be a
know-
little downgrade if you're still holding Leuenberger there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't like doing it personally, but I think it definitely has merit.
Yep. Or you could even go, obviously, Blix to him.
You could.
Roger Merritt.
Yep, it's Roger.
Because, this
Is there Roger Merritt?
Camille
A lot of Roger
said that could he pull a Tom Lynch and pump out a monster against GWS? Because he did spend a fair bit of time up forward, didn't he?
Well, I guess he
I
could.
think he did. Yeah.
I think he can do it.
Excellent.
He
All right.
could. He could. Not that big. Not that
Who do you
big.
think is better, Leuenberger to Jolly or Cruiser?
Cruiser. Look, with Bell Chambers being out as well, I think it's going to benefit Cruiser this week. You had Cruiser at the start of the year, dog. He started like a bloody cat on fire throwing at pigeons.
Yeah.
So he's going to be the best pick, I think, out of those.
Yeah, can I just say this, though?
Don't like cats.
Jolly was his other option, wasn't it?
Yeah.
His numbers has
It's
been
been
pumping out
crazy.
are probably career best over the last 5 weeks. I'm talking big tons.
We should have asked
120s.
Maxie.
120s. So, yes, Cruiser is far more value at the moment because he's well underpriced. So I would say Cruiser. However, looking at form on the rest of the year, I think Jolly will actually average more. That's how big he's been lately.
Wow.
That's a big call, Troy.
Yeah, it is. But I would still go Cruiser despite that. Due to value.
Last question here comes in from Mark. He'd like to know, the teams could not have been worse for him. There's no sign of Dwyer returning. Well, not at this stage. And Maxie did say he was surprised as well.
Yeah.
Should we offload him now?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I think you should.
I would.
Definitely.
As a matter of fact, I did it last week.
So did I. So there's a couple of options for you to do that, but I would be doing it this way.
And anyone that held it, I had to, I think I avoided a donut by trading him out, but I would be highly disappointed that he's not named. I heard that he was back. He was over that, like the groin, which was obviously, it was more like a rest by the sound of it.
Well,
however, there must be a little bit more to it because he deserves his game if he's fit.
Yeah.
And he would have had a 90 guaranteed, I reckon, versus Demons. That would have been his...
And that's the disappointing thing, isn't it? It's always the thing, whenever a player's get rested, obviously he's not rested for this game, but against these lower teams when you could have actually banked on a few more points than what they normally...
Especially when it's one of the guys like him that, he's still fighting for that best 22.
Yeah.
Devastating.
Now, just quickly into this here. This is what the buys look like for this week. So you got Brisbane, Fremantle, Hawthorn, Port, Richmond and the Bulldogs. Now, with those guys there, you can see it in your team. If you haven't looked into your team, which I don't know why you haven't yet, but there's little blue dots there, and they're very handy for you to see.
They are.
Make sure they're subbed onto your bench because your best 18 has to come from on your field. Okay? Now, your emergencies do work. So if you actually accidentally had a blue dot on your ground and your little emergency dude was playing, that will replace it. So your bench dudes can work and your emergencies can work. However, they will only work if there is a 0 on your ground. That is a non-playing 0.
Right.
That's very important to say because some people think
Of
if someone gets a 0,
Yeah.
you get it.
No, exactly.
Yeah, so
it's got to be...
And the same thing goes, and I'm not going off the topic, but as far as Supercoach loophole goes, it's the same sort of thing. You can use a blue dot player to loop if you wanted. I had that question today.
Yeah, and that's very interesting because it means it makes it so much easier to do that now.
You can loop to dupe that shit all
You
day.
loop
now.
And they're able to be clicked, obviously, and also moved around your ground in Supercoach if you're playing that game too.
do you know what I actually did with my subbing of the blue dots?
What?
I sent a message to Buddy.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I left Needy on the ground.
Did you?
Nice.
And said, Buddy,
good on you.
You can sit over there.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Players actually should
Message
get
sent.
little data on that.
Yeah.
You've been traded out by this many people this week, buddy.
This many people called you a dickhead.
Right, yeah.
That is
How
well.
did the coach look chat? All right, well, that's it. Good luck this week. There is, 6 games still and a fair bit happening there, so make sure your team is set.
Hope you've been getting into the podcast too. We've been loving doing that of a Monday night.
Number 2 in Australia, just quietly.
Yeah, that's pretty
that
good
was
effort.
amazing.
Who's Hamish and Andy? Never heard of
I
it.
don't know.
Our next victims. All right. Finally, we're going to leave you with this cool little thing. Thanks to Troy, who has been sending in some awesome lookalikes.
Different one.
Oh, different Troy.
Troy's been sending these in. This is a little bit of gold to finish off our Thursday night live
Thanks
show.
for watching.
See ya.